Welcome to Discover Janesville. You're listening to Discover Janesville, and this is Yuri Rashkin. We have a lot to cover on the program, and I see what's going on. So on this episode of Discover Janesville, we're going to have an exclusive conversation with Lars Bripp, who was arrested for obstructing at the Capitol in Madison. Lars is a member of Veterans for Peace, and he has been up at the Capitol for a good 2 years, almost 2 years now. The man is outspoken. The man is also, like I said, a veteran, and I think has done everything he possibly can do to earn his right to speak. We're going to have his statement. He was arrested for obstruction at the Capitol on Thursday. But we're going to start with an interview with Rock County Humane Society Executive Director Angela Rhodes. The following, we'll have also a conversation with Zach Curtis, who is the new theater and communication professor at UW Rock County. Zach was behind the 24-hour theater festival, and soon at UW Rock County will be producing Full Monty, a musical that I think many will see and some will appear in. We'll also talk with our entertainment reporter, Eric Kuznasik, who will report on upcoming comedy shows. He's going to be taking a break from talking about all the music and talking about comedy, which it's nice to laugh once in a while, isn't it? And we're also going to have a presentation on service clubs in Janesville. I'm a big fan of service clubs, and there are several who get together once a year for a joint service club breakfast, where presidents of the clubs kind of tell a little bit of their story of what the clubs are about. And if you're not involved and not a member of a service club, you should check it out. Then we're also going to be featuring nominees for the 3rd Annual Janesville Area Creativity Jack Awards on today's program, and really leading up to February 16th, when the awards will be announced and presented at Janesville Performing Arts Center. Today we're going to be featuring nominees in the Outstanding Band category. We are being joined on Discover Janesville by Angela Rhodes, Executive Director of Rock County Humane Society. Angela, welcome back to Discover Janesville. How are you?
Good, Yuri. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So, what is going? Let's start with kind of a basic question. What's going on at Humane Society?
Every day is a new challenge. I'm guessing you're referring to the recent announcement that some animals in the community will be going to Dane County.
That has been a big subject of conversation, and it sounds like there's a lot of confusion. And I read the story in the Gazette. You even expressed some frustration. What are things what's really going on, what people should know?
Sure. Well, what people should know is that we are still the stray receiving facility for the cities of Janesville and Beloit, as well as a number of other municipalities. Rock County has never had a county-wide solution or contract with us, so each individual municipality in Rock County chooses to handle their own animal control as they choose. So some contract with us to take in those strays, and by stray I just mean an animal with no known owner. We know that the vast majority of strays have an owner somewhere. They're just not attached to them at the moment, so they're basically roaming at large. So that has not changed. The contracts that were signed this year did not change our services or our deep commitment to the animals in this community to continue to provide for that care as best we can. I'm not sure it was frustration as much as just surprise with the press release that was issued by Dane County indicating that stray animals were now potentially going there.
So you were not aware of that until the press release came out?
Right. I was aware that some cities had been talking to them about taking the seized animals that they take from people, because unfortunately for a number of years now, those animals have not come here, simply because of our facility and resource and staff limitations. We just simply don't have the facility to house owned animals that have been seized by the police. So that isn't actually a new change. That has been years now, and it's great that the cities have found a safe, appropriate place, like Dane County, that has the facilities and the veterinarians and all the resources to be able to house those animals. When the press release came out, I, of course, contacted the cities just to make sure that we were all on the same page, because our concern was just that, if indeed strays were being sent to different facilities without, there being good communication, that some lost pets and their owners might essentially miss each other or fall through the cracks. And so at that time, I received confirmation from Janesville and Beloit that they intend for the owned, impounded, seized animals, like I mentioned, or any critically injured animal to be transported to Dane County, which again, is a great thing, because without a veterinarian here, without medical staff or medical facilities, if an animal is critically injured and suffering, we have no means of helping them. They always came here, and of course we did the very best we could, but oftentimes that might result in humane euthanasia if an animal was say hit by a car or something traumatic. So since Dane County has their own staff of veterinarians, they work with the emergency clinic up there. They do have the resources to better help those animals. So as far as I know, and what has been clarified to me, is that really the change on our operations probably won't be felt at all, because the vast majority and the bulk of stray animals will still be coming to our facility.
So to reset things maybe a little bit, because there's these things that you do, these things you don't do. What is the scope of practice for Rock County Humane Society that, let's say, first of all, every resident of Rock County should be aware of when is it that they need to call Humane Society, and then probably there's a difference between the cities, but let's start with the residents.
Sure, as far as if they find a stray animal, or...
Well, that's I guess what I'd like to clarify is, in what instance should I be calling Rock County Humane Society?
Sure. Anytime you find an unknown stray animal in your community, you should certainly let us know. Whether or not your municipality chooses to handle their animal control themselves, we would still like to know, because we take detailed reports. A lot of people do call us, of course, like they should, if they're missing their pet. And so, the best case scenario for us is that somebody finds an animal, they call and let us know, we take that detailed report, and an hour later, a day later, a week later, somebody calls and says, oh, I'm missing this pet. We check those reports, we find a possible match, and we put them in contact with each other, and that animal never has to come to a shelter or be brought, to a facility. They can be reunited in the field, so to speak. So whether or not your municipality, however they choose to handle their animal control, certainly always let us know, because we want to be an agent for those positive reunifications, no matter what. And that's something that we've, clarified with the cities now and Dane County, just to make sure that, we're staying in the loop. So if, for example, last night a animal was hit by a car and severely injured and brought to the emergency clinic or someplace in Dane County, that they let us know as soon as possible. So if we have an owner calling, we know where to direct them.
So you have a good working relationship with Dane County Humane Society, or Dane County?
Sure. We all have the same goal, which is to help animals. However that happens and wherever they end up, it's of course, our shared mission to make sure that the animals are getting the care that they need, and that the owners and the community and the public are also getting the support that they need as well to make sure that we're providing them the best information possible. So, one of the only change that we had known about going into the contracts is that both the City of Janesville and City of Beloit have also chosen to do their own humane care officer, animal control officer field work. We had employed humane care officers to go out and pick up stray confined animals, to do initial neglect abuse report investigations, to issue bite orders. Basically, they contracted with us to provide a lot of that service for the city for years. And this year they have decided to hire and employ their own animal control officers to handle all of that. So if you find a lost pet, certainly call us first and foremost, and we can go from there. If it's in a municipality that does choose to have their animals come here, the public is welcome to bring those animals directly to us. If they need assistance with having them picked up, or if they have an animal running at large, they would need to contact the police department.
And that's the biggest difference over the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's the only change going into 2013. Otherwise, the stray services, the adoption services, all of those things remained exactly the same. And we offered those services as we have in years past, but this year they chose to, like I said, employ their own officers to do that, buy their own vehicles, equipment, all that goes into providing those services to the public is now all going to the police department rather than our humane care.
Now, how do you feel about the fact that there's been so many changes gradually, albeit over the last couple of years, in the way that Humane Society deals with municipalities and with Rock County, in a sense that now Janesville and Beloit have their own officers that handle strays, like you said, and Dane County is now involved in the process. Does Rock County Humane Society feel that it is less involved than it wants to be, or is this more appropriate financially speaking, the arrangement, that it justifies the costs better? How do you feel about all these changes?
Sure. Well, we have been, working really, really hard over the past number of years to make the changes that were needed for us to better fulfill our mission of actually helping the animals that come here. It has never, we don't want to be, nor is our role to be just a pound to warehouse animals for their 7-day stray hold and then euthanize. That's anybody that works in the sheltering field. Their goal should be to provide the best quality of life that they can for any shelter pet while they're in your care, and then to provide a positive outcome, whether that be adoption, return to owner, transfer to other groups that can help, to exhaust all options to make sure that every adoptable pet gets the appropriate outcome, and a positive outcome. And we have, seen amazing strides in decreasing euthanasia and the quality of care that animals are receiving here, the health and medical that, we are able to provide for them even on our limited budget and not having a veterinarian or medical support. We're very, very proud of the fact that many, many, many more animals are getting the care they deserve and the positive outcome that they deserve. Some of the changes, like the cities providing for their own animal control field officers, is actually a really positive change. A number of years ago, when we first sat down and got Janesville and Beloit together to talk about our challenges and how we could all work together to work towards a positive, progressive, local, ethically and financially sustainable solution for our community's animal welfare issues. That was actually something that was brought up because, many people, when you're a private animal shelter and you provide stray animal contracts, it's inevitable that many people, misunderstand what you are as an organization, that we somehow have law enforcement capability, or that we somehow, the humane care officers that went out in the field, it was a very, very challenging position because, people didn't understand that, these were just people that worked for an animal shelter. We don't, or never did issue citations, or we weren't able to take somebody's animal, or we weren't able to,
Well, bottom line is you're not an official agency.
Right. So, oftentimes we were put in very unsafe positions and very unfavorable positions with the public. And the public is who we need, obviously, to support us with their donations or funding, or we couldn't help any animals here. And so it was kind of a catch-22. So, the fact that we no longer have to be in a position with all the responsibility but none of the authority is actually a positive change. And so, I hope this, obviously, we're just a few weeks into it. I hope it's going well for the cities and the community and the public, and I'm sure there'll be some tweaks and things along the way, but it's a positive thing. The same as having seized animals or critically injured animals, having a safe, appropriate place to be sheltered. That's a positive thing. So we're not looking at any of these things as negative at all. Just steps towards, again, finding that long-term solution to a very difficult, very, very difficult subject and issue. I mean, these are our lives on the line, and not everybody agrees, with each other on the best course of action. Some people would like to see no money spent on animals. They don't value them. Of course, that's not our position at all. We want to make sure that we are providing the very best care that we possibly can, while we certainly understand financial and budgetary constraints. I mean, we live it every single day. It's a tremendous burden to have so many lives in your care and not knowing every day, what donations are going to come in, what are we going to be able to get from the community to be able to provide for our community's pets.
Speaking of the contributions and community and animal care, how's your fundraising doing? Do you feel like the community is stepping up and supporting the mission?
Yes, absolutely. Donations from the community in the forms of, obviously just monetary donations, sponsorships, memorials, things like that have actually been very strong, and especially in such a challenging economic environment nationally, and certainly, obviously, hard hit in Rock County. People have been tremendously generous with what they have in sharing with our homeless pets that so desperately need that.
So the end result, or at least the current result, of all the publicity that Rock County Humane Society has generated by going to different municipalities, trying to just become more sustainable, you feel has resulted in more participation from community in terms of donations and so forth?
I think so. I mean, we have definitely increased our donor base and our donations, and that's great. And that's one of the reasons that's another very confusing issue again when you're kind of serving two masters, if you will. There's the sheltering side and there's the animal control side. So the costs involved that municipalities pay to have us provide the service are only for that service. for the 7 days. On day 8, if the animal is not reclaimed by their owner, they become our again, I I hate this term, but it's true. They become our property, and they're our responsibility. So everything that we do for them from day 8 onward is all can only be done on donations, and that's what I truly believe people give their donations to make sure animals get quality care and the outcome that they deserve. So, when they become ours and they need to have their spay and neuter surgery and they need to have their blood tests and they need to have additional vaccinations and the dogs need to have their veterinary inspection by law, all of those things are completely funded by donations. The money that's paid contractually is only for the 7-day stray hold, and as you've probably heard me mention often, the amount that we get paid actually doesn't even cover those costs. So we still have to take some of our donations to help subsidize that stray hold time when they are not ours, when they are still waiting for an owner to potentially legally reclaim them. So, it used to be, pennies on the dollar that we were paid for that. I know it's been mentioned often that there was a significant increase in our fees a number of years ago, and that's true. And it's true because at that time, what we were being paid was, it wasn't even close to covering the cost of the service that we were providing. So we were taking all of those donation dollars, we were putting it into that 7-day stray hold time, and then when that animal was in ours, there was no money left to actually help them. And I really, believe that people give their donations to truly help the animals, not just provide for a stray hold period, which really is the responsibility of the municipalities. And so we've gotten much more equitable in that. We're still not quite there yet, but we have again been making baby steps, totally understanding that funding for anything is is so difficult. I'm a tax-paying citizen of Janesville. I get that, but we also again, it's that constant balancing act of we have real lives and real hundreds of little eyes looking at us every morning, needing care, and it's not something that you can say, oh well, we just don't have it, or tomorrow you're not going to get X, Y, or Z because we just don't have the money. We just have to, and it's a real nonprofit. Nonprofit management on any level is always a challenge. There's so many great organizations out there doing so much great work. But when you literally have, like I said, hundreds of lives on the line every single day, it just really adds to that urgency and that just that the amount of care and concern and compassion that we have for every animal that comes here, and needing to depend on the community to help us fulfill our mission to those animals is so very crucial. And so it's always unfortunate when information is miscommunicated or perhaps reported in a not so favorable light. But I can assure everyone that every penny that people give us is put directly to the animals that so desperately need it. And we are working hard every single day to continue to improve things here, for their lives while they're here with us and beyond. And at the same time, also wanting desperately to continue to fulfill the role for our stray animals in this community, and hoping, although it's tough, that all the municipalities can work together for us, all to find a common local solution. it's difficult to say the least. But I know, working together, we can accomplish it.
Great. Angela, well, thank you so much for doing your work and your dedication to animals in Rock County and beyond. And let's talk soon.
Wonderful. Thank you, Yuri.
Thanks, Angela.
You're listening to Discover Janesville, and this was an interview with Angela Rhodes, who is Executive Director for Rock County Humane Society. What I think is interesting here and worth noting is that, as you noticed, nowhere in our conversation did it come up that Mound's pet store was discontinuing offering area where animals from which animal can be adopted in their store, which they maintained for years and years. And the reason I heard anything about that on this program is because we recorded this interview a couple of days ago, and this sounds like just another reason this was something that was done on the Mound side of things and nothing that Rock County Humane Society knew anything about. So they certainly have daily challenges, and I think the key here is that if you care about animals, if you care about maintaining that standard of living that comes with having viable services such as Humane Society, I think you should reach out to Rock County Humane Society and offer some assistance, whether it's as a volunteer or whether it is as a contributor. There are many different ways in which people can be helpful. So, highly recommend getting in touch with Humane Society. It is one of the most worthwhile nonprofits in Rock County, bar none. Let's see. And on that note, you're listening to Discover Janesville. My name is Yuri Rashkin, and we'll be back after these messages. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 890, and the National Electrical Contractors Association are proud to partner with Discover Janesville and promote the city of Janesville and all of southern Wisconsin. IBEW Local 890 and NECA take pride in their strong commitment to the local community and strive to provide safe, reliable electrical service to the citizens of Rock County. IBEW and NECA form a powerful partnership supplying the electrical industry with highly skilled and competent electricians and well-proven electrical contractors. Our workforce is poised and ready to complete your next project on time and on budget. Contact us at www.ibew890.org. Want to get involved in your community? Janesville New Lions Club is a group of community-minded, friendly men and women dedicated to help make Janesville a better place for all. Lions' mission is to help eradicate blindness and help visually impaired people, which Lions do in a variety of ways. From collecting used eyeglasses to delivering eye tissue to driving local visually impaired people to social outings. Janesville New Lions also take care of several parks, including Lions Beach. And coming up is the annual Rose Sale, which is the club's main fundraiser, helping fund all the Janesville New Lions projects throughout the year. Place your order by going to www.janesvillenewlions.org or by contacting any member of Lions Club in Janesville or Beloit. Orders are delivered anywhere in Rock County. Learn more by going to janesvillenewlions.org and join the club for lunch and a presentation on an important community issue on the first and third Tuesday of every month at the Elks Lodge at, you guessed it, noon. Janesville New Lions, be a lion. Did you know that you have a right under the Constitution for a fresh financial start? Many people these days have found themselves burdened by debt, the result of divorce, health issues, income loss, predatory lending practices by banks, and even the death of a spouse. Mary Law Offices helps people file for bankruptcy relief under the Bankruptcy Code. Mary Law Offices in Monroe, Janesville, Baraboo, and Stoughton have been in practice for 30 years. Roger Mary's reputation is as a lawyer who serves the underdog. As an attorney specializing in consumer bankruptcy, he has counseled clients at the most difficult points in their lives and has served generations of people in the south central regions of Wisconsin. Call Mary Law Offices at 608-325-2065 in Monroe or 608-758-1066 in Janesville for an appointment, or find us online at www.marylawoffice.com. Southern Wisconsin Building and Construction Trades Council. We are not a union, but a union of unions. We cover almost every sector of the workforce in our jurisdiction, including members in the building construction trades, such as electricians, iron workers, sheet metal, and steam fitters who promote apprenticeships to provide a skilled and trained workforce for our contractors. Visit our website at www.swbtrades.org for more information or call 608-754-4130. Southern Wisconsin Building and Construction Trades Council, Building America.
Join the UAA, celebrate the arts today. Join the UAA, share your art in every way. Artists and painters, musicians and actors, writers and singers, performers and dancers. Join the UAA, celebrate the arts today.
Discover Janesville is proud to welcome a new sponsor, Water Wellness. Water Wellness is bringing a product to Janesville we thought we already knew, good water. But what makes Water Wellness water different from other water you can buy in Janesville is alkaline. Said to be a healthier version of water because it helps create a healthy pH balance, alkaline water contains antioxidants, assists in cleansing the colon and detoxifying the body. It can even help improve hydration at the cellular level. Generated through a unique process of electrolysis, alkaline water involves taking regular tap water and separating it into two halves. One is acidic, the other one is alkaline. Learn more about this great product at free demonstrations conducted every Tuesday and Friday at 2 p.m. at Water Wellness Store located at 220 West Milwaukee on the Janesville Mile. Got questions? Stop by the store and tell them you heard about alkaline water on Discover Janesville. Welcome back to Discover Janesville. My name is Yuri Rashkin. And a couple of things about our sponsors. First of all, Water Wellness. It's actually Kangen Water, which is spelled Kangen, by a company called Enagic. And the water is actually out of Japan. The water, I suppose, comes out of our faucets, but the machine is out of Japan. And to be perfectly honest, I've been drinking it. I love it. I've been drinking this since... My gosh, it's been a few months now. I love how the water makes me feel. Definitely there's a difference between this water and tap water or bottled water. And when you look at the demonstration and see all the things that are present in the water and how it interacts, how it cleans vegetables and just all the things that it does, it's amazing. I highly recommend it. But the key is that when you go to Water Wellness Store in Janesville, at 220 West Milwaukee, you have to mention that you heard about this on Discover Janesville. It's a very important part of it, and I'd like to have our sponsors be aware of just exactly how great it is to advertise on Discover Janesville. So therefore, go to Water Wellness. Make sure to say that you heard about Water Wellness on Discover Janesville. Next, we're welcoming a new sponsor to the program, and that is Voight Music Centers. Voight Music Centers has two locations. One is in Beloit, 1712 Princeton Road, and their phone number is 608-365-2276. And they also have a location in Janesville, of course, which is 1401 West Court Street. And the phone number for the Janesville location is 608-756-0081. And many of you, if you have anything to do with music in Janesville, have experienced with music, and so have I. It's a great store. And first of all, what they really want to get out the information is that they sell strings, and that's electric and acoustic guitar, bass, folk instruments, violin, viola, cello. They sell drumsticks and drumheads at 50% off every day with no minimum purchase. In fact, they don't stock your favorite model. Let them know and they'll start stocking it. There's no need to buy strings or sticks by the case online to get the best pricing. Buy them local. Check out some new gear while you're in. Talk shop with the staff who doesn't like talking about musical gear. And support small, independent, local businesses that support the community. Voight Music Centers. We want to be your music store. And I'm just really glad to have Voight Music Centers on board. And again, when you go to Voight Music Centers, make sure to let them know that you heard about them on Discover Janesville. Next, we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about service clubs. As you may have heard, again, well, I suppose continuing talking about the sponsors a little bit. One of the ads is for Lions Club. I am a member, and service clubs do a lot of different things. So you should check it out. Oh, this brings up a very important point. We're broadcasting live today from Lemonade Coffee on the Janesville Mile. Are you looking for a good cup of coffee? Not complicated, good cup of coffee? You should come down and check out Lemonade Coffee. Even though there could be somebody standing behind me and speaking, it still is to be out in public versus sitting in a studio environment. So here's the deal. Lemonade Coffee, check them out. They're inside the Hodgepodge place, so if you come down on the Janesville Mile and you're on Main Street, across from Johnson Bank, you have your Lemonade Coffee. Check it out. And next is discussion on service clubs. Service clubs in Janesville play a very important role, and they get together once a year where everyone, all the club presidents share their story. And we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to have audio from the last Joint Service Club. And it starts with Jim McMullen, who is president of Janesville Kiwanis Club. Here we go.
So again, on behalf of the Janesville Noon Kiwanis, here's our story. Noon Kiwanis has a mission of serving children all over the world. There are almost 600,000 adult and youth members with over 16,000 clubs worldwide. We refer to ourselves as a K family because if you did not know, there are K Kids, Builders Clubs, Key Clubs, Circle K, Golden K, and Action Club. And again, we serve the children all the way through retirement. Kiwanis is in 80 nations worldwide, and our club here in Janesville meets the first and third Thursdays monthly right here, noon at the Pontiac Convention Center. We have 43 members. Our two main fundraisers are Kiwanis Pancake Day in April and Festivale in November. That just got done not too long ago. We support our service leadership programs, which I just mentioned, the K-Kids, Builders Clubs, etc. But we also have some awesome service projects. They include things like Kiwanis Park, Pond, and Trail here in Janesville. I'm going to kind of rattle these off. Camp Wabi, Boys and Girls Club, Boys and Girl Scouts, Azure Boys and Girls, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, our Site of Census project, but also Salvation Army, HealthNet, Kiwanis programs like Key Leader, Terrific Kids, and Bug. Of course, we host Students of the Month, student scholarships, Meals on Wheels, and we support things at our Kiwanis District Foundation level. Also, this year's project is focusing on autism. And last but not least, Kiwanis International is involved in a project with UNICEF called the Eliminate Project. And that is a global effort to eliminate maternal neonatal tetanus from the face of the earth. Women and children who are dying from tetanus. Our goal is to raise $110 million internationally by 2015, and we are well on our way. While we're sitting here enjoying our lunch, and I don't want to be morbid, but the facts are one baby is dying every 9 minutes. 160 infants are dying every day in third world countries from tetanus. At the start, there were 43 third world countries, and it's already been eliminated by almost half. The cost is $1.80 per mother and all her future unborn babies. So I think sometimes we take our health care here in our country for granted. We're all vaccinated at birth, but not true in third world countries. Our club also is involved with, of course, various other community projects. So that is the Kiwanis clubs here in Janesville. And next, we're going to hear from Lions Club. Come on up, Steve. Thank you, Jim.
thanks to the Kiwanis for hosting this Joint Service Club today. This is fantastic to see all you all here today to bring unity to the community and service. I'm the president of the Janesville Noon Lions Club. We meet at the Elks Lodge the first and third Tuesday of every month. We have about 42 members right now. And just to give you a little bit of background about Lions Club internationally and as well as locally, we have about 1.35 million members worldwide in 46,000 clubs. We're everywhere. We're men and women who are active in the community in over 207 countries and geographic areas. We were founded as a club in 1917. We're best known for fighting blindness. It's part of our history as well as our work today. We also perform volunteer work for many different kinds of community projects, including caring for the environment, where our international president had asked us to plant 1 million trees. To this day, we've planted nearly 10 million trees worldwide. We also feed the hungry and aged seniors and the disabled. Some of our local projects that you are probably familiar with in Janesville here is Lions Beach. In 1937, we donated that to the city, and to this day we help maintain some of the landscaping there. Out at JSOL, we donated one of the shelters out there to the city and to the school back in 1969. There's a group called Black Hawk Pioneers, and that is a group of visually impaired and blind in Janesville and Beloit. And what we do as Lions is we'll go to their home, we'll pick them up, we'll transport them so they can all fellowship and have that community fellowship together. We join forces with the Beloit Noon Club on that as well, so we do that every month. We also transport eye tissue, so on your license you have a donor sticker. Once someone passes, eye tissue is then used to give someone sight. And so, kind of like the Pony Express, we'll get a call, we'll be on call a few months out of the year to go pick up the eye tissue, and then we'll transport it to either the eye bank in Madison or to a local hospital. And I can tell you the first time I did it, it was a little unnerving, driving down the interstate with a box on my passenger seat, had a little biohazard sticker on there, and I knew there was eyeballs in there. But it was a good feeling knowing that I was going to be helping give someone sight. So, we also redistribute worldwide used eyeglasses. You'll probably notice in some of the department stores and grocery stores, library, you'll see a box that says donate your used eyeglasses. We've joined up with the high school students who design those boxes, paint them, and we collect them. We read the eye reading on there, and then we ship them out overseas to give people eyeglasses so they can see. And we also just joined up with other community projects to help serve others. On a side note, I made an announcement last year to all of you, to the club's individual here, that on the Welcome to Janesville sign, which is on Highway 51 North, in between the Pheasant Farm and Bottlehead, we worked with the city the Lions Club repainted that, and then we're inviting the other service clubs to hang their club street signs on there. Kiwanis, Optimist, Exchange Program, we've gotten your signs, but I extend the offer to Rotary, and if there's some other clubs that I've missed, please come see me afterwards, and I'll get you some information so that you can join us in displaying proudly your sign. So when people come to Janesville, they know that we're here serving this community. When I timed out my speech, it was 20 minutes. I'm trying to break it down to 3 minutes. Our motto is we serve. We pretty much go wherever help is needed. We also do vision screenings to the preschool and kindergarten age groups. We really focus on providing vision for everyone. We also work with youth. We have students of the month in the high school that come visit our clubs to give them exposure. We also have wheel clubs in the high schools where it's kind of like the pre-adult Lions clubs in the high schools, and then once they graduate, they usually end up joining a Lions club in their careers. We also give grants. Since 1968, Lions Club International has awarded more than $700 million in grants to support Lions humanitarian efforts. When Hurricane Sandy hit the East Coast, Lions Club International Foundation gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to those families to help them get through that. Our annual fundraiser to help raise funds for this is our annual rose sale. I'm sure many of you here have bought roses or carnations from a Lions Club member. That happens in March every year, so this February. When you see someone call your cell phone, answer it. Probably a Lions member asking for donations to buy roses. In conclusion, our goal is to make Janesville a great place to live, but each one of us giving a little time each month to serve in ways that make differences in others' lives. Thank you.
Next, we're going to hear from Morning Rotary. Where are you doing?
Jim said I need to eat the mic.
You don't have to say that.
All right. Well, Steve, I'm not sure if I could follow up with the eyeball story, but I'll give it a try. I can tell you that within the last year at our club, we had one of our speakers. He was a gentleman who he takes care of wild birds. I think it's in the Edgerton area, and he brought in a couple of birds, and that was sort of interesting for about 7:20 in the morning, trying to eat your breakfast. And we had some folks who have the training for the eye dogs and things like that. So, but I liked your story. I'd like to first introduce my fellow Rotarians, and so my folks could stand up. I'd love to have you stand up. Dave Moore, Jim Hutchinson, Nikki North, Jim Ryan, and we're going to get you, Sean. You can stand up too. Give him a hand if you would. I had Sean stand up. Sean just came this morning, and usually we have a formal process we have new members go through, but we're looking at just giving Sean an exemption because he just moved up from Arizona. So this is his first winter, and so he's just getting himself fitted in with the one applause, so welcome. Morning Rotary. Anybody know what's coming up this weekend? That Morning Rotary has been known for the last 15 years. That's your fruit baskets. We have almost, I think, 800 fruit baskets we put together. We'll do that this Saturday. And that's been a tradition of our club. And along with the fruit baskets and the pie ride, any bike riders in here? Anybody participate in our pie ride? We've had over 700 riders in the pie ride over the last 10 years. It's a major event. We have folks from all over the state of Wisconsin, as well as Illinois. We've even had folks from Iowa and I believe Indiana. So it's a wonderful event. These two fundraisers help us generate about $25,000 a year. And we, as many of you do, we are able to give to local charities, school groups, those helping really the less fortunate in our community. We're very thankful for the folks who participate in that. You probably heard of Bill Gates, and Bill Gates and the Gates Foundation has teamed up with Rotary International, and if you've seen some of those ads in the magazines and stuff, we're this close to eliminating polio, and that's one of the things Rotary has done. In teaming up with the Gates Foundation, we're very close. I think we just have a handful of countries left in the world that we're trying to eliminate and eradicate polio. It's exciting, but there's more work to do, and so it's an ongoing venture for Rotary. We are a club of about 43 individuals who get up in the morning, every Thursday morning at the Rotary Club. We get there about 6:45. And one of the things we do, and it sounds like a lot of the clubs do, we also have what's called the Student of the Month Club. We introduced that in the last couple of years, and it's a really, I'm sure your clubs also do the same thing, it's a really great time to bring students in and expose them to service clubs and trying to get them involved with how to serve our communities. And it's been a real good experience. And it also goes along with the flavor of our club. We do a lot of outreach to the schools. One of the entities for the Janesville School District has is what's called the Chestnut School on Chestnut Street, and it's an outreach for developmentally disabled children. And we've had some of their teachers in, and we're able to help out with some things that they needed. And again, just part of our outreach to the schools. And one of the programs we started last year was a values-based program that we're working with both Parker and Craig. So we're very, very excited about that. Let's see, what else do I have here? Again, service above self. I think that's one of the things that really makes our club special. And while our club may be small, maybe compared to others, with the 43, 45 individuals we have, I can assure you that every one of those folks have that motto of service above self. So, with that, thanks, Jim.
And next, we're going to hear from New Rotary.
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Matthews, and I'm currently the president of the Janesville Noon Club. And I'd like to thank the New Kiwanis for hosting today. I had a speech prepared, and then last night I was doing homework with my 7th graders, and it changed a little bit. The topic of the science project was about polio, and what does it mean, and how do we get rid of it? And as I'm reading the text, I got a little irritated because nowhere in this textbook did it talk about Rotary. Now, Rotary is polio, and it's all about eradication. And as Dwayne just said, we're this close, and there's signs everywhere, and I was ashamed of McGraw-Hill not representing Rotary. So I have a letter that is drafted that will go to the textbook company hopefully by the weekend. So, anyways, we are a club of about 118 active members. We meet at noon. We do not get up as early as those morning folks, but we do have some very common synergies, and that is service above self. If I stood up in front of you today and asked each and every one of you, excuse me, what would it take to change the world? We all have a different idea of what it would take. But I can guarantee you that the majority of the Rotary members in this room believe that it begins with a commitment to service above self. And our club stands behind this process. It lives it, it breathes it, it works it in many different areas of service. Our club has different avenues of service that we live upon, and we breathe upon, and we work upon. And one area is through club service. And that area is where our fun activities are included, our bus trips, our armory evenings, a fellowship. We have a lot of fun in that area. We also have vocational services. And here's where we support our local Boys and Girls Club, our high school scholarships, our honors luncheon, and also our Student of the Month program. And a fairly new area to this area of service is ethics. And this year we have a committee set up that will actually be conducting a panel of local business owners and business people to show the widespread of needs in the ethical community within our businesses. Then we move across the world and we go to international service. Here we support the very famous Kids Against Hunger of Rock County. We also assist the funding of shelter boxes and group study exchanges. And our very own Mr. Dave Warren will be traveling very shortly across the world to Uganda, and we are so very proud of him for this incredible commitment to Rotary. So thanks, Dave. Many of you have also visited our beautiful Camp Rotimer and Rotary Botanical Gardens, which is another area of our support. These are both part of our service community. Within this avenue, we also continue to support Badger girls and boys along with the Washington Seminar. And like the rest of you, we need money in order to fund these projects. Our largest fundraiser actually happened here just a few weeks ago called Rotary Fest. In August, many of you and the majority of our members helped with the annual corn roast and mud volleyball down at Traxler Park. And both of these events were proven this year, above all years, to be extremely successful. And I am so proud of our club and our community and the support that we received to make these as successful as they were, even in a down economy. So in a nutshell, this is just a small example of what Janesville Noon Rotary is all about, and I appreciate the time to tell you all about us. Come visit us at Rotary Botanical Gardens on Mondays at noon. Thank you.
next we're going to hear from Golden Pay here in Janesville. Carl.
Thank you, Jim. And good afternoon. My name is Carl Kramer. I'm president of our second Kiwanis Club, the Black Hawk Golden Pay Club here in Janesville. I'd like to have our contingency, about a dozen fellows and gals. Please stand. Okay. Our club has 95 members, meeting weekly at the Sons of Norway Lodge on West Milwaukee Street in Janesville. We meet each Wednesday from 9:30 to 11 when all the honest folks are out there working. We are basically retirees. Our youngsters are the 65, 75 group, and the oldsters are up in the 90s, but hey, we get a lot accomplished. Our local club began in 1983, so we're about 29 years old. Historically, we've been a male-only club, but starting this fall, we are now co-ed. Our major fundraisers are Salvation Army bell ringing, we have coming up in a week or two. Easter Lilies for Camp Waubeep, Wisconsin Dells, for handicapped kids. Kiwanis Peanut Day, tree sales in the spring, and Truck on Ice raffle, which is coming up very soon. We support a number of programs, the Lincoln Elementary School K-Kids program, and probably noticed in the newspaper today, there's big headlines about the Breakfast Club is being taken over by money from the federal government. So we're going to have to find some other use for the money we have. But we would still be helping out, I understand, fitting how that all shakes out. We also help out with the Edison Middle School Builders Club, a very active group. We furnish scholarships for students at Craig, Parker, University Rock County campus here in Janesville, and also Black Hawk Technical College. We have service projects of a Red Cross Bloodmobile, where we assist, Meals on Wheels, drug collection, monthly bingo games at Rock Haven Retirement Home, and we also help out with Kiwanis Pond Park and Trail. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. And next we're going to hear from Linda.
Thank you. I'm Linda Reinhardt, and I'm president of the Zonta Club in Janesville. We're the smallest club, I think, of groups that have presented. We have between 20 and 25 members in our club. For those of you who are not familiar with Zonta, Zonta International is a global organization of executives and professionals working together to advance the status of women worldwide through service and advocacy. We have international and local service projects. Internationally, we partner with agencies such as United Nations Women and UNICEF and Oxfam. One of our projects is to work with women who are suffering from obstetric fistula in Liberia and helping women with this problem receive better health care integrated with the government, the National Health Service. Another of our international projects is prevention of new pediatric HIV infection and prevention and response to survivors of domestic and gender-based violence in Rwanda. Locally, we provide support for a number of service agencies, such as the YWCA of Rock County, HealthNet, but we've taken on a new focus this year. And you may have read about it in the newspaper recently. We've begun a new project called Women with a Vision. It's a program that aims to support single mothers through college scholarships and also helping to meet their other needs, financial and social needs, helping them to find the resources they need to help them and their families be successful and become economically independent. We're trying to focus our limited resources to help these women and their families. We're currently providing support to two women, two mothers. One who's a student at Black Hawk Technical College and another one who's a student at UW-Rock County. We're currently partnering with the Community Foundation of Southern Wisconsin, the UW-Rock County Foundation, and the Black Hawk Technical College Foundation. And we're looking to find other groups and other partners, individuals, who would be willing to collaborate with us and perhaps like Norm and Carol Alaba, who started the scholarship through the Community Foundation to support a student at Black Hawk Tech. The UW-Rock County Foundation and our club have combined our resources to support a student at UW-Rock County. So if any of you would be interested as clubs or as individuals to participate, you can contact us or send a check to one of those foundations, Community Foundation of Southern Wisconsin, the Black Hawk Technical College Foundation, or the UW-Rock County Foundation for the Women with a Vision Project. Our two fundraisers are nuts, and if any of you need nuts yet for the before the Christmas season is over, I'm sure that we can help you. And our other big fundraiser is the International Women's Day Luncheon that we hold each March to celebrate International Women's Day. This month, or this year, in 2013, we're going to be celebrating on Friday, March 15th. That's the Ides of March, so hopefully you'll be able to remember that. Mark it on your calendar. Our guest speaker that day is going to be Ann Basting. And some of you old-timers may know Ann as the daughter of Tom and Sally Basting, but the reason that we've invited her to be our speaker for the International Women's Day Luncheon is because she has become, has an exciting career as the Executive Director of the Center on Age and Community at UW-Milwaukee. And Ann is a professor of theater at UWM, and her work focuses on finding ways to change the care for elders, particularly those who have dementias, and helping them through creative engagement. So she uses storytelling and theater and other activities to help elders who have memory problems. We hope that many of you will be able to come to that event. And again, if any of you have nuts, we'd be happy to find some for you within Janesville. And service advocacy in March on International Women's Day, we are going to be joining with other groups of women and other interested organizations in an advocacy day at the state capitol, working to help promote the status of women and to fight against domestic violence and human trafficking. So if you are interested in any of those kinds of advocacy projects or working with us in any similar way, we welcome the opportunity to work with you. Thank you very much.
And last but not least, we're going to hear from the Optimist Club. Come on up.
Thank you. You didn't want me to shake his hand? I'm Larry Loveland. I'm with the Thursday Noon Optimist Club and a member of the Tuesday Morning Optimist Club. I have attended and assisted the Wednesday Morning Optimist Club. So, unbeknownst to the world, there are 3 Optimist Clubs in the city of Janesville. Optimist International was formed about 1920, and at that time their motto was Friend of Delinquent Youth, or the Delinquent Boy. It has since evolved into Friend of Youth. We try to keep that theme going in most of our activities. We help support the Boys and Girls Club, Washington Seminar, Youth Baseball, Salvation Army. Good thing I made a list because I found out I was going to talk about 2 minutes before I ate. Youth Hockey, Rock County 4-H. You might know us
you might know us as the cheese curd people at the fairground. So during the 4-H fair, we man the Optimus cheese curd tent. And 1/4 of our income from that goes back to the 4-H. We have the Wisconsin Youth Leadership, the fun day that we put on at Optimus Park. It's a part of the city park system that we support and maintain and keep the activities going. We also have movies in the park once a month during the summer months. It worked out pretty good last time. And we also tried a new idea this year, the development of a little train pulled by a lawnmower. Two of our club members, two different clubs, but two of our club members built the train, and we pulled kids around previous to the movies in the park and other activities, such as fantasy forest that we just put on at Easter or at Halloween, and we had the train there. We also, the Thursday Club, which is the smallest of the three, feed all of the actors in the fantasy forest. So it works out very well. Our idea is to assist the children of the community, and also the International, their primary theme is prevent childhood cancer or assist in trying to cure it. So each of us have our own little income that we draw each club. And the major one, though, that you might recognize is, of course, Easter. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow. Wow. I love the Giant Service Club meeting every year for this very reason. When we go back to thinking about a story, think about a story that together we create right here in Rock County and on the globe. Regardless of focus, if you took out any one of these clubs, there would be a significant impact. So together, we help create the story, both here in our hometown, but across the globe. On behalf of all the clubs, thank you for your countless hours of service work, support, financial support. It truly makes a difference. So I commend all of you.
was a performance by the Jazz Guys. The Jazz Guys is the jazz group in Janesville, and they are nominated for Outstanding Band in the Outstanding Band category for Janesville Area Creativity Award, which will be presented on February 16th at Janesville Performing Arts Center. And you should be there for all the things that are culinary award. It's something that I look to practically every day around dinner time, because you'll be able to go and sample much good food right in one place, and you don't have to go to different restaurants in town. You can go to the Janesville Area Creativity Awards. Zach Curtis, welcome to Discover Janesville. Welcome to Janesville. Can you talk? Oh, heck, if I'm going to start my interview that roughly, I might as well introduce my guest a little bit. Next is Zach Curtis. That was a preview of the interview. Zach is a new theater and communications director at UW-Rock County. All around guy and the man behind the 24-hour theater festival, which I didn't think was possible until I participated in it. It was a lot of fun. So I sat down with Zach and talked about what he thinks about theater, how he feels theater fits into community, and what should theater and community do. So here is Zach Curtis. Zach Curtis, welcome to Discover Janesville. Welcome to Janesville. Can you talk a little bit about your background, how you ended up in Janesville?
Sure. My background is in theater education primarily. I grew up in Colorado and got my degrees there, and graduated college and started teaching high school. So I taught high school theater for 5 years in Colorado. And as much
Where in Colorado?
Colorado Springs.
Okay.
And I absolutely loved it. I loved my students. But it's a lot of work teaching high school. The people that teach public school are saints. It's exhausting, and the level of administrative oversight on teachers right now is really constricting. And so I decided that I wanted to have a little bit more freedom in what I was teaching. And so I went back to grad school, and I went to grad school for 2 years in Washington and got an MA, and then moved to Idaho and finished my MFA there. And then when that was done, I needed work. And teaching college is a great way to be able to do theater full-time and have the freedom to do it the way I want to do it and really teach the way I want to teach. And so URock was kind enough to bring me out for an interview and hire me, and I've been really excited to be here since.
Wow. Okay. A lot of information that, because it was kind of like my prior universe, because I lived in Salt Lake City for 16 years.
Oh.
So Colorado, Washington, Idaho, yeah. That's all very much that western.
My wife is from Salt Lake City.
Ah.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
I know the area well.
There you go. So you've been in Janesville now since, when did you start? August, okay. What is your philosophy, or how do you view your position? What is the role that you feel that you play on campus or in community, for that matter?
Absolutely. I think as a teacher, a theater artist, and a community member, I think it's very related that I'm not as concerned with a product, if you'll say, whether it's teaching a class or running a play. We want a quality product. We want the audience to love it, but I think it's more important to develop a product that teaches both the audience and the participants. So I think this last play we did was a great example of that the product might not have been a polished product, but the process for the participants was a very positive one. It was a great learning experience. It was great bringing the community together. And then also for the audience coming in, I think it's important to say what kinds of plays will help our community. What kind of plays does this community need to see? What are they lacking? And be able to push the community a little bit through theater. And the classroom is the same thing. It's not the product coming out of the classroom that's important. It's the process that the students go through.
Very interesting. So what do you see as the needs of the community? Obviously, a very limited time you've been here, but what direction, at least generally, do you see yourself headed with the plays that you choose to do?
I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. I think it's a mistake to come into a community and say, well, clearly I understand you, and this is what you need, And so I'm trying to keep an open mind and just go from production to production, evaluating the needs of the community and kind of feeling their responses. I think, this spring, for example, we're doing the Full Monty, which is a slightly edgy, fairly family-friendly show, but it also deals with a group of working-class men who have been laid off. And how do you find your self-worth and your identity when your industry has kind of shut you out? I think that's clearly it seems to be a theme that will resonate in Janesville.
Even though being a male stripper may not be for everyone.
Absolutely. Even though we may not have that industry going here.
But the theme itself is absolutely universal of how do you find meaning.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last show we did Sideman, and the idea was, it's about jazz musicians and that life, and we tried to bring in a lot of musicians and appeal to that subculture of the community. And so I don't think there's any play or theme we're going to deal with that the whole community will just get around. But I think to be able to say, this play is for this group of people, and this play is responding to this certain issue. And if we can always make those questions, I think a lot of theater people make the mistake of saying, I like this play. I want to act in this play, so we're going to do that. And I think instead it's important to say, here's what the community needs, so let's give them that.
That is very profound. I had no idea what I was going to walk into, but this is very profound because, yes, I would think that as a professional in any profession, there's a certain desire to do what it is that your strengths are, or something that you enjoy doing, or you encountered something, or if you're an architect, you would like to build a certain type of house, whatever. But you're looking at this as I'm bringing a set of skills to a place, and I'm looking to see what this place actually needs.
Absolutely.
And then to see how I can fill in that niche or gap or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. So my goal is to get to know this Janesville community and integrate myself as much as possible and really become a local and understand this community and their needs and continue to use theater to be able to reach out into the community.
In my past experience watching theater in Janesville, there's every group, and there are several, thank goodness, seem to have developed kind of a certain niche.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when Gene Bybee was here, I think he saw the opportunity to be a little more edgy and kind of take that university young people energy and try to channel into some an unpredictable direction versus a theater that would do comedies or a theater that would do musicals or a theater that would do. And you're looking more at the community angle. Great. What are your favorite playwrights? Who do you like?
Oh man, I love Sam Shepard. I think Sam Shepard just writes some beautiful, dark kind of discussions about family life and how messed up we can be. I think Sam Shepard is great. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Death of a Salesman, I think are great classic plays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also really interested in what's new, and not necessarily in terms of the latest Tony-winning productions, but my wife and I are both particularly interested in devised theater. And the idea behind devised theater is it's a group of artist collaborators who create theater from scratch, to get a group of people together with themes that are important to the community and write and develop a play from scratch. And it's not necessarily writing a script, but it's creating an entire production from scratch. And I
how is that different from a regular production?
So it's not a person sitting at a table with a pen and paper writing a script that they then hand to actors. It would be, let's say we get 5 collaborators together, and they're going to develop the production, and they're going to star in the production. They're going to create the art that goes into it. And the result may not be a formal script that could be handed to someone else and produced, but it's an expression of what they feel is important, expression of their art. And it ends up kind of, as we've talked about, reaching out in the community and reaching out into that subculture as well.
It sounds a little bit like improv in the sense that it's hard to recreate for another person.
Absolutely. There's definitely a lot of improv involved in devised theater. I think it takes it a step further and says that we're not just going to do it on a spur of the moment. We're going to take a month, 2 months, and develop this and finalize it the way we really want it to be. But it is a group of people coming together to create their own vision.
All right. It sounds great. It is like, how can a creative person argue with this? No! Give people the script and every word. More structure. Right. Right. That doesn't sound quite theatrical. Well, maybe. Because of the 24-hour theater festival, I had opportunity to talk to several people about your directing style, which was described by several people as organic and respectful, which is, I think, I kind of got the feeling that for a lot of actors, it's very refreshing to find a director that's actually respectful of their creativity. And having put an actor's hat on my head for 24 hours, it's certainly nice to be respected, but in any profession. How do you view your role as a director in that setting?
I appreciate that people gave me that kind of feedback, but I'm directing a full show. I think,
and that's what they say behind your back.
Yeah, really, they're just sucking up to my face. I feel like when I'm directing a production, I either have really experienced great actors. I had some fantastic community members in our last production that have just really great creative and artistic ideas, and I want those to be able to come out. So my role is to facilitate that and to help them give their best work and to be that outside observer to guide and mold that process, but not to control it and create it from scratch. And then the other option is that I have, maybe a student actor who's young and a little more inexperienced. And in that case even, they have their own ideas to bring forth, and my goal is to help them advance themselves as an artist. And if I'm sitting behind the scenes and manipulating and puppeteering every little move on the stage, that's not advancing anyone as an artist or letting anyone's own creativity come out.
But it expresses your vision.
It does, but my vision is
just to be devil's advocate for a second.
My vision is never as good as the vision of a group of people, in my opinion. It's important that I have a vision and that I come in with those ideas and I can mold it, but if I'm to write down exactly how a play is going to happen on stage, that play would never be as good as the play created by a group of individuals with their own creative ideas.
Yeah, I think I come from Russian tradition where my parents were theater people, and I was raised on the understanding that the director is hopefully benevolent dictator that tells you, exactly where to go, what to do, and yells at you, and you go, that beast over there, that's the director, but the wonderful, the holy director kind of thing, and
right.
you view yourself, I think, very differently.
I do. I really see myself as a facilitator working with a group of artists to help each of them bring out their best art, and collaboratively we will create a production that tells that story.
What role do you see theater play in a community?
Theater is
in a totally ideal society where it is, facilitated as people see fit.
In an ideal society, I see theater as a way for communities to tell their own stories, and as an audience for communities to be able to learn from stories and change their own lives.
All right. Where do you see yourself, and as your career progresses, where would you like to end up, what is the pinnacle?
Right now I'm really enjoying it here. I don't have a particular drive to teach at Yale School of Drama. I'm very happy here because I think the level the students are at here really gives me an opportunity to work with students who need theater for its value rather than pursuing a career per se. Very few of these students will advance into theater as a career, and for those students I will give them everything they need to be able to succeed. But I'm also very interested in the students who are doing this for the values that it provides to them just in the process.
Very interesting as well, because it looks to me like you're looking and more interested in developing these actors or theater people, and I use air quote marks because it's radio, so I have to describe that it's air, but you're more interested, I think, in the human development aspect of these people.
I am, and I think that's my teaching background. Having been a high school teacher and the humanitarian side of me, that I love theater, I love art and spectacle, and I think we can create some beautiful shows that audiences will love. But honestly, I'm more interested in the development of people and what art can do for people, both the audience and the participants.
Great. Anything else that people should know about either Zach Curtis or UW Rock County Theater Program Department? Is it department or program?
It's technically Communications and Theater Arts Department.
Communications and Theater Arts Department that people should know about.
You know, I think you mentioned the niche that the theaters fill, and there's so many great theaters in this community, and each of them have kind of identified the niche that they can fill within this community, and we're still developing exactly what that is for us. You talk about Gene Bybee, who's doing more edgy plays. I think there is definitely a world for us to be doing edgier plays, simply because we don't have to make our money back. As an academic setting, we can do edgier things and take bigger risks than private companies can. And so I'm not as particularly interested in it needs to be edgy just to be edgy, but I think that people can expect UROC to be doing, and I like the word you used earlier, unpredictable theater, that we're not going to be doing the same kind of theater every fall and every spring, that theater at UROC will be unpredictable, and people can expect a wide variety and always expect something different.
So it's not the place to come and find the next Tom Shepard play or whatever, but it's about finding something that you didn't expect and having your eyes opened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Zach, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Nick Offerman, and here's some slam poetry about something that's close to my heart. Sleep breaks via a skillet sizzle. I startle. Like a Goldilocks bear, I bumble out of bed and mumble, "Who's been cooking in my kitchen?" I listen. My nostrils widen. I'm stricken. It's bacon. Fork, knife, spoon, trash. Here's my fork, knife, spoon again, attached to my body, or as I like to say, my bacon eater. Because the world is split into two halves, the bacon and the bacon eaters. Utensils don't make the bacon sweeter. It's breakfast. Crunch. Another bunch. Then lunch. Before I know it, it's been 3 days. I smile, my lips bacon glazed. I'm correct, I'm finished. Life is diminished down to its grizzly bear essence. The bacon and me. The bacon in I. I'm ready to die. I've baconed.
And cut.
Every week we are joined by Eric Kuznacik, who tells us about upcoming concerts, and this week is no different. Eric, welcome back to Discover Janesville.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
What's going on?
Well, we did this last fall sometime, and it was kind of fun, and it just kind of so happens that there's another cluster of good comedians coming to the Madison area in February and March, so I thought we could start off talking about what we just heard, which was a slam poem to bacon by the comedian Nick Offerman, who's better known as Ron Swanson on Parks and Rec.
He is a cheerful fellow, isn't he?
He's, I get the feeling that Nick Offerman, the person, and Ron Swanson, the character, they share a lot of the same qualities.
Well, as long as I guess we can look at it and laugh, then that's all is well then.
And he's, for those that watch Parks and Rec, he plays that character perfectly, and it just kind of gets better and better as the show goes along. And one thing that I found out when I was kind of looking up information on him was those who watch Parks and Rec know that he has an ex-wife on the show named Tammy Tu, who's played by Megan Mullally, who in real life, they're married. So that explained a whole lot to me about why those two characters can really play off each other that well.
Wow, because Megan Mullally was on that show that I can't remember the name of, with two characters.
Will and Grace.
Will and Grace, thank you. And that's probably what she's best known for, although she's been active, and I think she's on Broadway and all over the place.
Yeah, she's got that real distinctive voice and laugh that, if you've heard her once, you can pick up her, you know when it's her the rest of your life. On Parks and Rec, I always just kind of admired the way that Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally were able to kind of they're ex-spouses who are still infatuated with one another. And now knowing that they're married, I understand a little bit more about how they play those characters.
It's not really acting, is it?
No, it's kind of just having fun with your wife.
Well, in front of a camera. Well, that sounds awesome. All right. So he's going to be at the Barrymore Theater in Madison.
Yes, it's going to be on February 9th, so coming up here in a couple weeks. I wasn't going to talk about the show at first because there was an early show at 7 p.m. That ended up selling out, and I don't like to talk about things that people can't go out and buy a ticket for and see themselves. Then they added a 10:30 show, which now is on sale. So I would anybody interested in going to see Ron Swanson / Nick Offerman do stand-up comedy, I would go and get those tickets in advance for sure. $25 through MajesticMadison.com.
This just reminds me of when I saw Jerry Seinfeld, who was so acutely aware of the fact that people knew him through the show, and he said, "Yes, I am your friend from TV." This is another friend from TV.
There you go.
All right. What's the next show we want to highlight?
This will be, I guess, another friend from TV, although maybe a little less known to some people. She hasn't been on a main character on a series or anything like that, but has done a lot of guest spots on different shows, and also has been on some Comedy Central roasts, most notably recently of Roseanne, and then previously the roast of, I believe it was Charlie Sheen. She's a stand-up comedian named Amy Schumer. And she's, one of these ladies that you're going to notice because she's good-looking, she's blonde, but wow, she's got a mouth on her.
That's awesome. I mean, I just love the fact that we're talking comedy here because it seems like so many things around are not funny at all, and here is something that is just, it's designed to be funny. I love it.
Well, and that's a good point because, both Amy Schumer and some of the other comedians I'm going to talk about today, they'll make jokes about things that, you wouldn't make jokes about with your friends in a normal setting or in the office or something like that, but somehow when you stand up on stage as a stand-up comedian and you get a crowd in front of you, it's okay to laugh and to make jokes about some of the more risque topics.
See, this is a great career advice we're sharing here. Rather than telling bad jokes to your somebody next cubicle, go on stage.
Don't risk the sexual harassment lawsuit at work. If you, some of the stand-up comedians that you hear, are pretty respectful, but some just cross the line. And I'm going to say that Amy Schumer, she's pretty good at crossing the line.
Excellent. Well, that's why we pay the money to go see it.
So we're going to hear a little clip here, the little stand-up Comedy Central special that she did. But before we do, I'll just mention that she's going to be also at the Barrymore Theater. And that's going to be on Sunday, March 10th. Tickets, $25 in advance through MajesticMadison.com. This clip is kind of her talking about going back. She's a Jewish woman and kind of, again, a risque subject, making fun of, Jewish people, I guess, her people.
That's the beautiful thing about being Jewish, or, at least you can make fun of Jews. As a Jew, I can relate to that. All right.
And you can't convert for the jokes, like we found out on Seinfeld.
That's right. I'm converting for the jokes. That's right. Although, right, it's still, a life lesson to walk out after the funniest joke.
Yeah, there you go. Go out on a high note.
That's right. So, this is Amy Schumer.
Look at this. This is amazing. I can't believe what a big theater. I don't even know which way to face in here. It's like sex. No, but really, I feel like crying. It's like sex. I just can't. Wow. Thank you for coming. Welcome. I'm so excited about this. This is amazing. And I just want to get something off my chest, just right off the bat. I'm a Jew. Really? Okay, now you guys are just phoning it in. No, but seriously, any Jews here? A couple? All right, not bad. Kind of half for New York. I guess the rest of us are out running the world. It's good you guys are here, too. You're really a Jew. You're so pretty. God, I love it. It's so good. You can't even see your horns. This is fun. This is great. And I just went to our homeland for the first time. Have you guys ever been to Miami? Yeah? That is where the chosen people are, if you didn't know about it. Oh, my God, I had no idea. Miami is crazy. I'm never going back there. Everyone there was gorgeous. Gorgeous, right? I do okay in New York, for a comedian. I'm bringing the thunder up here, okay? Comics? Come on, yeah. I usually do okay. In New York, I'm like a 6, like 7 with all the padding. But in Miami, I was like a -3. People were like, what the is that? Throwing up on their motorized wheelchairs. Children were crying. I was like, Beyonce calls it jelly. They were like, that's cottage cheese, bitch. Do some lunges. And I was like, oh my God. Everyone's hot there. Like, their homeless people are hot in Miami. They're not our bird-obsessed, weird homeless. I made out with a homeless guy by accident. I had no idea. He was like really tan. He had no shoes on. I just thought it was like his thing, you know. I'm like, he's probably in a band. My friend's like, he probably doesn't have a home. But, and the way I found out, we were like sitting on this bench and we were like kissing, you know, or like doing it. I don't remember. It's like so bright down there. But I was like, listen, let's take this party back to your place, right? He's like, bitch, this is my place. It was sad. It was a hard time for me. Hard time. And they have these things in Miami. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them before. I'd never even heard of them. They have those little, the Cuban people. Oh, I am obsessed. I met my first Cuban guy. Ladies, listen to this name. Cesar. How sexy is that? So sexy. I'd never even seen him before. Just gorgeous. He's 3'11". I don't care. I'm like, what do we have to go to amusement parks? We'll work it out. So cute. And the way I met him, crazy, my little Cuban cigar. We're at the hotel restaurant. And I was just trying to order a corn muffin for breakfast, you know, minding my own business. And the waitress is like, oh, he just got the last corn muffin. We only have chocolate chip left. Cesar hears this, and he comes over and he's like, you can take the corn muffin. I will have the chocolate sheep. I'm like, how cute is this guy? But you know we're not allowed to trade with you guys. So what? Like I make the rules. Like it's really hard.
All right, and we're back with Discover Janesville and our concert correspondent, Eric Kuznasik. Eric, Tracy Morgan at the Barrymore Theater. I can't believe they still have tickets.
Yeah, it's well, they're a little bit more pricey, but he's also a little bit bigger name than some of the others we've talked about today. But Tracy Morgan is just one of these guys that I think you go and you show up because you don't know what's going to come out of his mouth.
And that's probably how his manager feels the same way.
Yep, they don't seem to put too tight of a lid on him until, somebody complains or, a group of people complain. He's run into that in the past, but he doesn't have a filter either, so similar to Amy Schumer.
No, and I managed to see Tracy Morgan actually at medal awards ceremony during Salt Lake City Olympics, and there was a concert every night, and there were presentation of that day's medals, and that concert included Tracy Morgan. And this was back in 2002, and I thought, wow, this guy is just out there. It's just incredible, and he wasn't cold at all. It was outside. He was running around the stage in freezing cold, telling jokes, and I wasn't sure if he knew where he was.
I think there's something. He's not playing with a full deck for sure. And those who have seen him on 30 Rock, he plays Tracy Jordan, which I think he's basically just playing himself, maybe exaggerating it a little bit. Much like Nick Offerman and Ron Swanson, there's a lot of similarities between Tracy Morgan and Tracy Jordan.
So if you're looking for things not to do in real life, go and check out these three great comedians on stage.
Yep, support the live performing arts, and it's just like I said, Madison's going to be a funny place for about a 4 to 5 week span here coming up in February and March, and that's the time of year when there's snow on the ground, it's cold. Anything you can do for a laugh, anything you can do to make your life a little happier, go and do it.
That's right. All right, so we're going to go out with a little bit of Tracy Morgan. Eric, thanks for being on the show, and what are we listening to?
This is a little clip from actually, I think about a decade ago, Tracy Morgan doing a stand-up piece called Pops about growing up and what his dad was like.
Awesome. Eric, thanks for being on the show. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good.
Ain't nothing like getting your ass whooped by your pops. Your mom's going to hold back on some of them whoopings because she carried you down much. She going to show a little mercy. Stay with your pops come home, he tired too? Working construction? He always got just enough strength to whoop your ass. I never got a beating easy. It wasn't like that with me. I ran. I know in the last life I was a slave, I ran. Master ain't getting me. I know I was supposed to pick more cotton than this, but my hand hurt. Whoop who? 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 Oh yeah, now what? Now what? Now what? Now Shaq. Now what? Now what? Now what? Boop. Y'all just gonna stand there in the field? Y'all ain't gonna help me? Y'all not gonna... That's how I like Roots. Roots was the bomb. Remember Chicken George was the bomb. Remember at the end when they finally was leaving and they strung that white dude up on a tree? And Chicken George made it clear. He said, if you ever mess with me or my family, I'll kill you. Black people was home going, yeah, yeah, yeah. Went to work the next day like this. I ain't doing nothing. The boss be like, you fired. Oh, I got it. They lose that paycheck.
You're listening to Discover James. This is Yuri Rashkin, and after these messages, we'll be back with an exclusive conversation with a protester who was arrested on Thursday up at the Capitol obstruction. We'll be back after these messages. This is Discover Janesville. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 890, and the National Electrical Contractors Association are proud to partner with Discover Janesville and promote the city of Janesville and all of southern Wisconsin. IBEW Local 890 and NECA take pride in their strong commitment to the local community and strive to provide safe, reliable electrical service to the citizens of Rock County. IBEW and NECA form a powerful partnership supplying the electrical industry with highly skilled and competent electricians and well-proven electrical contractors. Our workforce is poised and ready to complete your next project on time and on budget. Contact us at www.ibew890.org. Want to get involved in your community? Janesville New Lions Club is a group of community-minded, friendly men and women dedicated to help make Janesville a better place for all. Lions' mission is to help eradicate blindness and help visually impaired people, which Lions do in a variety of ways. From collecting used eyeglasses to delivering eye tissue to driving local visually impaired people to social outings. Janesville New Lions also take care of several parks, including Lions Beach. And coming up is the annual Rose Sale, which is the club's main fundraiser, helping fund all the Janesville New Lions projects throughout the year. Place your order by going to www.janesvillenoonlions.org or by contacting any member of Lions Club in Janesville or Beloit. Orders are delivered anywhere in Rock County. Learn more by going to janesvillenoonlions.org and join the club for lunch and a presentation on an important community issue on the first and third Tuesday of every month at the Elks Lodge at, you guessed it, noon. Janesville Noon Lions. Be a lion. Did you know that you have a right under the Constitution for a fresh financial start? Many people these days have found themselves burdened by debt, the result of divorce, health issues, income loss, predatory lending practices by banks, and even the death of a spouse. Mary Law Offices helps people file for bankruptcy relief under the Bankruptcy Code. Mary Law Offices in Monroe, Janesville, Baraboo, and Stoughton have been in practice for 30 years. Roger Mary's reputation is as a lawyer who serves the underdog. As an attorney specializing in consumer bankruptcy, he has counseled clients at the most difficult points in their lives and has served generations of people in the south central regions of Wisconsin. Call Mary Law Offices at 608-325-2065 in Monroe or 608-758-1066 in Janesville for an appointment, or find us online at www.marylawoffice.com. Southern Wisconsin Building and Construction Trades Council. We are not a union, but a union of unions.
We cover almost every sector of the workforce in our jurisdiction, including members in the building construction trades, such as electricians, iron workers, sheet metal, and steam fitters who promote apprenticeships to provide a skilled and trained workforce for our contractors. Visit our website at www.swbtrades.org for more information or call 608-754-4130. Southern Wisconsin Building and Construction Trades Council. Building America.
Join the UAA, celebrate the arts today. Join the UAA, share your art in every way. Artists and painters, musicians and actors, writers and singers, performers and dancers. Join the UAA, celebrate the arts today.
Discover Janesville is proud to welcome a new sponsor, Water Wellness. Water Wellness is bringing a product to Janesville we thought we already knew, good water. But what makes Water Wellness water different from other water you can buy in Janesville is alkaline. Said to be a healthier version of water because it helps create a healthy pH balance, alkaline water contains antioxidants, assists in cleansing the colon and detoxifying the body. It can even help improve hydration at the cellular level. Generated through a unique process of electrolysis, alkaline water involves taking regular tap water and separating it into two halves. One is acidic, the other one is alkaline. Learn more about this great product at free demonstrations conducted every Tuesday and Friday at 2 p.m. at Water Wellness Store located at 220 West Milwaukee on the Janesville Mile. Got questions? Stop by the store and tell them you heard about alkaline water on Discover Janesville. And we're back with Discover Janesville. This is Yuri Rashkin, and we are going now to our exclusive conversation with Mr. Lars Fripp, who was arrested this past Thursday for the Capitol. And just to remind everyone, Lars is a veteran, a Marine, and a member of Veterans for Peace. He's been up at the Capitol for nearly 2 years protesting, and this is the first time, this is his first arrest. Here we go.
I went up by myself. Usually I go with Judith, she couldn't make it. So I had a sign with me that basically said democracy is dead, corporate lacking its rules, or something to that effect. And they had made up a new rule now that you can't hold signs over the railing or banners, whereas you used to be able to do this. So the police comes along and they say, well, you can't be holding it over the railing. You need to be holding it up by your chest, okay? And at first we all kind of refused to do that. And it led to a couple of exchanges with the cop. And I told him I wasn't going to do it and I was not going to stop holding it over the railing. And they walk away, and about 5 minutes later there's 5 or 6 cops behind me, and one of the cops comes up and says to me, I am going to reach over and take your banner now. Just don't resist, And so at that point I said, well, no, you're not. I'm going to give it to you. And why don't you read what the message says? You might learn something to that effect, right? So they took the banner and marched off, and about that time I noticed that Bart Munger, he was setting up on the second floor with his banner, and they had confiscated his yesterday. They're confiscating banners now. So I hadn't talked to Bart for at least a couple of weeks, so I decided, well, I'm gonna run up there and talk to him. And by the time I got up there, there was about 5 or 6 cops up there talking to Bart about his banner, the new one. And I was about 8 feet away. I've been looking at the photographs tonight and the videos, and I was nowhere near him. I was about 8 feet away from Bart. And the policemen that were talking to Bart was not concerned about my presence there. Okay. All of a sudden, Violet Spihot, I don't know what his name, I can't pronounce it. He was one of the, comes up to me and pushes against my chest and says, you need to move back. And I says, I'm okay here. Okay, and I said, okay, fine. So I moved back a half a step, and he goes, well, okay, and he walks off towards the other policeman. And I kind of like shift my weight. You know, I kind of like move my weight to my left foot or my right one, and he is on me with handcuffs, and I get handcuffed for obstructing and all down into the basement and processed. So I was charged with obstructing, which was a Class A misdemeanor, and I have to show up in court on March 4th. I've never had arrest before, you know. This is I've been escorted out of the gallery, you know, but I was never really officially arrested. But this is the first one, so. And you know, with being at this for 2 years, I guess I kind of have to tell you that I know that this was coming one day or the other, you know. But with the ferocity that they came after us today and yesterday, it was in retribution of the loud protest that we had out in front of the state of the state, I think. You know, there's really not that much to it, you know. And in fact, if you go on Facebook, there's all sorts of pictures, and there's a video of it, and everything else they've all got up. The ACLU was there filming the whole event, and it shows me being a good 8 feet away from Bart and what was going on. And then there was still photographs that was taken from the first floor, showing the distance was at least 8 feet away from what was going on. About an hour ago, it started catching up with me a little bit, but no, I'm fine. I'm fine. What is it they say? I'm in for the penny. I might as well be in for the pound now, right? So, okay, what I understand is that this is more of a serious nature. They can, if they want to, specify jail time. It could end up in jail time. But after seeing the videos and looking at the pictures, we definitely feel that this is a fraudulent arrest. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. What's going to happen here now is that I'm going to make the initial court appearance, and of course I'm going to plead not guilty, and of course I want a jury trial. And at that point, you know, there's a whole group of people that have gone through this before, and there are attorneys, and I was told that one is going to be recommended to me at that time. So we'll see what happens after the court appearance. We need to join together. We need to get up there and stand up and say no to this fascism, because that's all it is. The only thing they're trying to do up there is they're trying to bully us and make us afraid and have us leave. As a matter of fact, I think that the game plan was that we should have all have been out of there before the new legislative year started, but that hasn't happened. So now they're starting to get really nasty and start cracking down on people holding signs and confiscating signs and whatever. And what we need more people. I'd like to see 10,000 people up in the Capitol building and occupy it. If he starts pushing this right to work law, I am hoping that the unions will step up to the plate and maybe call a general strike or start slowdowns or start some sort of actions that we can all join into and support. I know if he's going to ram the mining bill through, Yuri, I'm being told that this at best is a 6-year approval process. And I don't think that that's going to happen in his administration. I just don't see it happening because there's so many. There's international law involved between Canada and the United States and the Great Lake Consortium. I understand there's United Nations treaties that's involved. There's Native American treaties that's involved. And I don't think that the Walker administration has really been in favor with the Corps of Engineers, and those are the people that has to sign this thing off. And Kathleen Weinhaut, I think, said it last week that they can delay this thing for a year, 2 years, 10 years, however long that they want to delay the approval process. So I don't know whether you're going to. I have my doubts that they're going to try to ram the mining bill through up in the in the Pinocchio Hills. I just don't think that's going to happen. But I could be wrong about that too, you know.
Well, I was speaking with Rebecca tonight, and her point of view is that, because I asked her specifically, I said, is it better with Rebecca Campbell? Is it better if Scott Walker's mining bill goes through and then gets tied up in courts and doesn't go anywhere, and Corps of Engineer refuses to work with it, and all of those political things that Senator Weinhaut talked about, and the same thing I heard from Senator Collin a couple of days ago, and Rebecca's point of view, or is it better to have Senator Collin's compromise go through that would allow for some mining with hopefully less lawsuits? And Rebecca's point of view was that, yes, there's going to be areas where there's Indian seating areas where it is going to be tied up, but there's also going to be areas around Baraboo and other places where mining will proceed if Scott Walker's bill goes through. So it's a mixed bag, and there's certainly plenty of bad things that are packaged in the governor's proposal.
Right. So I guess we have to wait to see what happens with that, eh? Maybe we can get 10,000 people up in the Capitol again. Maybe 100,000. I know I'm ready to saddle up.
We're back with Discover Janesville. This is Yuri Rashkin, and the final song we're going to play today features final nominee in the Outstanding Band category for Janesville Area Creativity Awards, the 3rd annual, coming up on February 16th. And the song features Kind of a Big Deal, which is, of course, the name of the band, Kind of a Big Deal. The lead singer of the band, Al Hulick, is somewhere where it's quite a bit warmer right now than it is in Janesville. Al just married Leslie Hulick, and they're out in Hawaii on their honeymoon. So here's to them, Kind of a Big Deal.
All right. Thank you, guys. Brush your skin. One is the pain of the silence. You breathe out and I breathe in. I can walk on water. I can tell you what's next. Make you believe, make you forget. So hold me tight to my lips and desire. Bring you over. Hold me down hard and drown me in love. So don't get tired of my lips and desire. Bring me over, hold me down hard and drown me in love. I'm dancing down to your voice. Right singing in my head. And I hate to remember all the rain and sweet, but the words that you said, I can walk on water, I can tell you what's next, make you believe, make you forget. Don't be tired, to my lips, and desire, bring me over, hold me down hard, and drown me in love. So don't be tired, to my lips, and desire, bring me over, hold me down hard, and drown me in love. I miss pulling your heart, I miss rocking your tongue, I see angels dancing, God, when you hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la.
You're listening to Discover Janesville. This is Yuri Rashkin. Well, thanks for... That's always the first saying, but appreciate it. Listen to any podcast at www.discoverjanesville.com. Like the program on Facebook. Get contact. And we'll see you. Talk to you next week.